Right, nice start of the day. Definitely got good weather for it today. Going on to this. This is really nice. I was in two minds as to where to go today. I've decided to come here. A fair number of people. I'm going to go and see what the beaver ponds and what have you are like. See how they're doing this year. That there is Doorjam Mountain. And that very impressive mountain there is Yamnuska. There is a whole pile of people in the parking lot here just getting ready to head up that way. That vertical face of the rock there is about 500 feet straight up or down, whichever way you're looking. And it's very, very popular hike. They redid the trails and that up through there last year. So apparently it's supposed to be a lot safer up there. I've got a feeling today, if the parking lot's anything to look at, I've got a feeling today is going to be very, very busy up there. But that's not somewhere I'm going. Yeah. Right. Where I'm going is down that valley over there. Yeah. Right. Going to see if there's any trails down here that need sorting out. There usually is. Hi, shadow people. Hello. Yeah. It's reasonably early in the day. A lot of the snow's off the mountains there. The other side, this is what they call the front range. The next range over, hell of a lot of snow up there still. They got avalanche warnings up there actually. Let's do one more shot of down through here, and I can put this camera away and head on down the trail here. Yeah. Nice little birds there. Yeah. Not sure what those are, but an extremely nice. Right, if that is not a nice view, I don't know what it is. Excellent. Right, on my way. Now, this is a nice spot. The water's down a fair bit. Yeah. When this little pond here is full, I think they call this middle pond or something. When this is full on a really calm day, you get some amazing reflection photos from here up across. It's very nice indeed. Yeah. Yes, Yamnuska Mountain. You can see the towards the left hand side there, you can see those little scrape marks coming down the hill where people come down the hill. They like to slide down the hill, which is all very well. However, that is actually the wrong way down. You have to go across the slope of there first and then back down through the trail on this side, because there is actually a fairly steep drop off at the bottom there, like 40-50 feet, and tragically people do end up falling off of that because they come sliding down that great big hill and then they suddenly realise, oh crap, I've got to go back up it to get out of here. Yeah. It's very nice though. Look at that. That's not a nice spot. I don't know what it is. If you go up to the right side of that mountain, go over the top of that mountain and just keep going, it'll take you into a very nice valley up in the back of there, but that's a bit rough. Better know where you're going if you're going up through that way. Make sure you've got a lot of gear with you. Yeah. Where I'm heading is through the forest over that way. Right, onwards I go. Well, first big customer of the day. I think I can probably thin this one out a little bit. I'm not sure I can get this one right out of the way. That's a fairly big tree in there. Right, I shall make a start and see how it ends up. Right. Well, that one was a bit of work. That one took me about half an hour just to get that one blooming tree off the trail. Wow, that was sprung right down, bent in the middle. I was hoping maybe just to be able to clear the branches off so I could just get through, make it easier for people to cross. But the more I was looking at it, I thought, okay, yeah, I can probably get that out of there. And yeah, that's pretty heavy. Decent sized log. It's very wet though, so it's it cut pretty easy. Yeah. Oh, let's get that one off the trail. Yes. Oh well. Let's hope there's not too many more like that. I started thinning all the branches off it just to make it easy so you could get up the side. And then thought, oh well, let's give it a go and see. Hey presto, done did. Let's get that piece off of there. Yeah, that was quite the tree for an early start. As you can see, it's much bigger up this end, so unfortunately that is as much as I could cut off for that one. Yeah, that snapped off there pretty good. Probably what, 10 feet up in the air, look. Snapped the right off. You look at these big trees and you think they're solid as hell, but they're not. It doesn't take much. There was a broken dead one here. So. Trees like this, I don't tend to worry too much about this, because this stuff it rots away so quick, and it's actually good for the trail too. But, anybody coming up through here with motorised vehicles, there are several large trees up through this way that I've never cleared because they're on access areas to this place, and you know that if you clear it out, somebody will bring a quad or something up through here, so you're not supposed to bring any vehicles up through. But if this is not a nice day for a walk in the woods, I don't know what is. Look at it. After the winter you find a lot of the aspens get snapped off. There's a place coming up not too far from here, just up around a few bends, and it's referred to as the aspen jungle, because once that thing leaves out, you get in the middle of that lot, it's very easy to get disorientated. It's called the aspen jungle for a reason. Ah, now then, for the last few years there's been a really nasty hang up in one of these trees here. I cut a piece off it and tried to get it out of there probably 4 years ago, and the damn thing's still hanging in there. Look at that branch there. I've been trying to get that out of there. I figured actually this year with all the wind we had, I figured that one might have come down, but I cut this off down here, but just sitting there. Is this the year it comes down? Maybe. Just hanging on one little branch. It's stubborn, isn't it? This one does not want to hit the ground. And it's only hanging on one little bit. Trouble is I don't want to cut down a perfectly good tree just to get that hanging one out of there. I'd rather it just broke off. Oh, almost. One more go. Last one. And there it is down. That has been bugging me for about the last 2 or 3 years. And now it's on the ground. Still a very heavy, oh excuse me, log. Hangers like that are dangerous because you never know when that's going to let go. This is actually a fairly popular trail through here, so oh, that's good. It was literally hanging on just that one little piece there in the middle. Yeah. Oh well, job done. Took 3 years to clear that one off the trail. It actually broke out of that stump there, fell over, pivoted through that one, and it's been hanging there ever since. Yay, job done. Right, let's put this away for a little while, get back over the top of the next hill. Well, I didn't have to go too far to find the next little bit of mess. This was obviously like this last year because somebody's made a very well established bypass trail up and side of this tree has fallen literally straight down the trail. So it's only a very small tree, so it shouldn't actually take me too long to clear it out and tidy it up and stuff. Right, let me get on with it. I think I'm going to take my coat off for this one. Well, that took care of that one. As I say, I usually chuck all the bits of branches and that I cut off and ends, I chuck all over the trail. This was actually a very long tree, it went all the way up here. Yeah. There's all the top of it, but it literally fell straight down the trail. somebody had made a side shoot trail through there, which looked like it had been there for a while because it was well trodden in. So I suspect that tree probably came down last year. So either way, it's gone now. Trail's back to where it should be. It was covered over all the old trail. I cut all the branches off and just chuck them in there like that. That way it keeps the trail where it should be. Otherwise you find they braid all over the show, and then it just ends up a big higgledy-piggledy mess. It doesn't actually take very long. This one probably took me 10-15 minutes to clear out. Lots and lots of little dead branches on there. That's where I need my axe, because I can clear that lot off the side of there with an axe really fast. And there was just one small one this end. But there we go, job done. Right, on down the trail I go. Now the other year, somebody's bone, somebody's missing that. I don't suspect whoever's missing that is feeling very well at the moment. Right, this one down here, this big one, I cut this out the other year. It kept bugging me, and I come up here one day and thought, okay, sod it, I'm going to cut it out. So I did, and it's gone. So, right, I've just delayered, just taken a layer off. I should have brought my little day pack with me, but it wasn't sure I was going to need it today. But it, as I say, whenever you come out in the mountains, always make sure you have enough stuff. I brought my coat with me, which with today's temperatures I don't really need. Honestly don't. It's plenty warm enough without a coat. However, if I don't bring it and then something happens and I'm overnight out here or whatever, hey presto, now I'm cold. That's never good. Yeah. Look at that though. See all the leaves coming out on the aspens. This is an amazing time of the year. I love this time of the year because it's the slightest breeze and these aspen leaves get going. But right down through this entire valley, that's Yamnuska mountain there. I'm just looking along the top. If I had my really good zoom lens on me, I'd be able to see if there's any people up there. People come from all over the world to climb that. It's like I say, it's 500 feet straight up. The rock on the top is something like 100 million years older than the rock on the bottom. It's where one fault is pushed over the top of the other. That mountain over there, that's all door jam and what have you. And I'm heading this way. It's very nice up through here. It is a bit of a bare corridor, so you do have to keep a little bit of noise going and just let them know you're here. They don't bother you. Oh look, flowers coming already. Nice. One thing I do like up in the mountains, you go, oh yeah, those purple ones are everywhere. Look, absolutely everywhere. Oh cool. I like it when you get all the flowers out. You go up in some of the higher meadows and you walk up through there and it's just nothing but wall to wall flowers. Absolutely amazing. Nature's magic. Yeah. If this is not a nice place to walk, I don't know what is. Yeah. There's a T-junction coming up here. The proper trail goes off to the left, but there is a bit of a shortcut. As long as you don't mind some tree hopping, there is a bit of a shortcut I can take down through here. It takes me to a clearing that's cuts about a kilometre or more off of my walk. So, and from my experience, I don't think there's any trees up through. There used to be a fence across here. They've just expanded this area too. I think they added a whole bunch more land to this as well. The fence is still there. I mean, it's all tumbled down. Nobody ever uses it anymore. Where I need to go is literally straight on. However, to get there, the correct trail. See, this whole fence has been here for ages. I don't know why they don't take it out. It doesn't do anything. Yeah, the correct trail is actually that way. But I have to walk kind of up the valley and then back down the valley, so I know a different route down through these trees over here, so I'm going to take that route and cut the corner off. Right, do some more when I get there. This is why this is called the Aspen Jungle, because there are literally miles and miles and miles of this. Yeah, and it just slowly works its way down the valley. But this is a little bit of a better route that I like to take. I don't clear the trail on that down through here because it's not a proper trail, but the horses use it. A lot of wild horses and that up through here, and the cows of course in the summer. Oh, another big tree came down. Yeah. As long as I go that way, I'm good. Oh, that one came down pretty good. Yeah. And this is a nice spot, eh? Look at this. Look at that. That. That is super nice. Just me, the wind and the birds. And a woodpecker over that way somewhere. I can hear him. Yeah, he's some distance away. Looking for bugs. Right. Once I get out the other side of this mess, I'll do some more. What an amazing day for a walk. Yeah, look at this. Well, I'm further down in the mess now, as I call it. The aspen jungle. There are so many trails that go all over the show in here. It's very easy to get lost in here. But it's, as long as you get mountains on that side. Yeah. And follow where the cows go. The cows know where all the good grazing is. And the water. So, general rule, if the trail's going downhill, it's usually heading towards water. If it's going uphill, it's usually heading towards safety or good grazing. Or both. Yeah. These purple flowers are everywhere. I can't remember what these are called now. Absolutely everywhere. There's a side trail goes off there. I don't want that one yet. There's some beaver ponds off to my left, down through all this forest here, and they're very nice. That's a very nice walk down through there. But looking at the amount of water that's in the lake at the top there, I'm not sure there's actually going to be a lot down in there. So I will continue this way for a while. Oh yes, there we go. All these hills along here, these lumps, these are all moraines, all the debris and what have you pushed out by the glaciers at the end of the last ice age. Trees like that are very cool. They always make good photos. That's nice, eh? Yeah. All this lot was pushed out at the last ice age, and it was only like 10,000 years ago. You think relatively recent, if you like. But if you want to go to the beaver ponds, you go down that side. I'm going to head this way for a bit. Yeah, there'll be some people up these mountains today. Glorious day for being up the mountains. Look at it, lovely. Just look at that. Let's go right round. Lovely, isn't it? Right. I don't know if you can get, if you go along the ridge, door jam and all that, I don't know if you can actually get down that end and down the end of Yamnuska. I'm sure the climbing fraternity probably could, but for the average everyday person, I don't think that's really a good route. It's impossible not to do a lot of pictures of that mountain. I have taken so many pictures of that mountain. Yeah. But it is one of the most stunning ones around here. It really is. There's big pointy ones covered in snow and all that kind of good stuff, but in terms of standing out, I can't remember. I think, I'm probably wrong here, but I think Yamnuska means something like Great Wall, because it's just like a solid wall of rock. It tapers off pretty quick down the backside of that one though. Right, as you can see, I'm back onto a very well trodden trail. That shortcut that I take, that cuts, I'd probably only just been coming down to the bottom, what people call the golf course. Is a big open area, looks like a golf course but isn't. But I'd probably only just be coming down there by now. Oh, listen to that wind, listen to that. Woohoo! That's what makes for a really good day, it really does. Right, there's loads and loads of these clearings along here. This is why people get lost. They come down into here because there's a million horse trails and cattle trails. There's another one over there. I know where that one goes. It goes to the bottom of the hill. There's lots and lots of them down through here. But if that does not make for a really nice day, I don't know what it is. Let's hope there's some water. I'm heading over towards a particular lake. Let's see if there's any water in there when I get there. Now, this is an important turn off on this trail. It's easy to miss this side trail here, which is actually the way you want to go. Everybody looks that way and thinks, oh, I'll go that way, but that actually misses the you have to go right down a really big hill and up the other side. That actually misses one of the best lakes in this area. So if you come up through this way, once you're on the trail, it's pretty self-evident, but it's easy to miss the beginning of that trail. This one goes along the top of the moraine, round a corner, well, down a little hill, round a corner, and then brings you out on a very nice lake, which is where I'm heading. If you go that way, if you go off straight on, it bypasses this. It brings you out at the far end of the lake, which I will go past on the way back. But all this moraine stuff is like all these rounded rocks. People walk over these rocks and they don't think how old they are. I mean, to become round, obviously they had to be in a river at some stage. They weren't made round, but they got tumbled around by rocks and ice and snow and what have you for hundreds of thousands of years, and ended up here in big piles. Geology of this area is really quite something. There's a really neat canyon, actually about 2 or 3 kilometers down the trail that way. There's a really neat canyon where the walls are only a few feet apart, and you can stand there. In one hand, the rocks are 100 million years older than the rocks in the other hand. Now, if that's not cool, I don't know what is. Right, as you can see, it's really crowded down in here today. So many people. I'm going to say it. This is one of those trails you hardly ever see anybody on. I said that once, and then you wouldn't believe how many people turned up. Right. Either way. Up the hill. Tree roots. Nature steps. Thank you very much. There are many good places down in here where you can just walk and sit for a while. There's an important turn off coming up here in a minute. Like I say, there's so many trails down through here. It's very easy to end up in the wrong spot. The beginning of this little trail. Oh, listen to that wind. Oh, I'm hot today because I did bring my coat, as I always do, just in case. Now, this is an important turn off. If you go that way, it takes you all the way down the bottom. Ranges over there. There's actually a really nice spring down there. There's a huge couple of trees with a spring that runs pretty much all year round. But where I want to go is down through there. You can just see the trail down through there. I'm going to cut the corner off. Yeah, this is an important turn off. Let's get down here and follow this trail. There are no markers up through here whatsoever, so if you're planning on coming down through here, bring a map if you don't know where you're going. It's really easy to end up the wrong way around. I have over the years put up little markers, bits of flagging tape, but unfortunately people do come along and take it all down. As I've said before in some of my videos, it's great for people to remove markers. Down through here it's not too bad because there's no major safety hazards down through here, but some of the places I mark, there are some serious safety hazards, things you really don't want to be falling off of or falling into. Yeah, I know a place where there's some really deep holes. They are vertical, and you drop a rock down there, all you can hear is it bouncing off the sides. Ooh, look at that one, ain't touching that. That's going to come down with a bang. I'm glad the tree it's sitting in is pretty good. There. Somebody trimmed some branches off that one, thank you very much, whoever that was. Excellent. And down through these trees, I can see it's starting to thin out, is what I've come to see. So I'll put this away until I get there. Yeah, nicely done. Whoever cut that, looks like last year's work. That wasn't me. Yeah. Right. I'm just going to come down the hill. Oh, having said that, now I see a person. Right, let's get this away for a second. Well, that was interesting. I just bumped into a guy there who, he's a writer. He writes books on climbing and mountains and what have you. And it, yeah, where are we? Last name is Gad. I'm sure I've read his books as well. Yeah. Right, anyway, so that tree came down recently. That wasn't there last year. And I literally just said, hey, this is one of those places you hardly see anybody. And hey presto, there was a whole bunch of people. Actually one, and his dog. Well, it looks like we had a little bit of blowdown along here. I don't think you can actually walk right around this lake. I haven't actually tried. I know you can walk all up this end, and I know the bit the other side is extremely rocky and tumble down trees and stuff, because I've done that bit a few times. This is one of my favourite places to sit, this corner over here. I'm going to go and sit here and enjoy this spot. This lake, it's, as you can see, it's still pretty low. We need some serious rainfall, we really do, because this lake is normally full, yeah. But we're coming into June, so all kinds of hell can break loose around here in June, yeah. So, well, somebody had a campfire, good spot for it. Not somewhere you're actually allowed to have campfires, but either way, I'm not going to argue the toss. Yeah. Yamnuska Mountain, door jam. I was just talking to that guy, he knows Ben. Yeah, well, I'll be Ben and Larry, the climbers. Yeah. The guy Ben, he was 65 this year. What was it last year? And he climbed 65 peaks in the 1 year there. That was their goal, was to do the 65 peaks. Let me tell you, I'm not far off his age, and I can tell you now, getting up and down these mountains, I have no idea how these guys do this. Yeah. But it's quite amazing that they do. Actually, it's the only way I get to see the top of a lot of these mountains, is looking at his pictures. Yeah. But if this is not a good spot to stop and have a bite to eat, I don't know what it is. Just look at that. Amazing. Nice to see the young trees coming up. See, this is nature's process. See, big trees fall down, rot away, young trees grow. Amazing, isn't it? Been happening for millions of years, and will probably continue to happen for millions more. Trees will evolve, the planet evolves. But this is a nice spot to have something to eat. Right, one last look around, get back up the hill. There we go. Right, I'm going to double round on myself. I came that way. I'm going to head back round this way. And chap I just spoke to said there wasn't much dead fall down, so that's good. I don't mind cutting it and clearing it, but it's quite nice when I can just enjoy the walk too. Let me cut this one up. That's quite a big tree. Lots of good rotten wood in that one. Yes, this is normally completely full. Mind you, it doesn't take much once it starts raining for these things to fill up. You'd be surprised. You get a really good rain event, get a good day of rain, you come up here, be pretty full. Yeah. Right, this trail gets a little narrow along here. amazing place for a walk. I'm going to say it again. It's not somewhere you see too many people. That's usually my cue for lots of people to turn up in helicopters. Long story, but yes. Hello, little bird. Not sure what that was. Right, I will continue along this way for a little bit, cross over the other side and do some more from there. There's a bit of trail I showed you earlier. It kind of disappears around a corner, goes straight on. Will actually bring you down there if you know how to get to it. If you don't know how to get to it, you'll end up in the middle of a swamp. This bit was always very rough. Somebody has actually cut up some decent logs and made a nice walkway. Well done. Yeah. There was a huge tree here, so yeah, there was a great big tree down across this area, literally right there in front of us. So somebody actually was thinking, they cut it up and made it into a walkway. Nicely done. Yes, this tree that was here, this one was huge, and there wasn't really a lot you could do with it. Looks like the stump stood back up as well, because this stump used to be horizontal. Yeah. So, oh yes, they pushed it back up in the hole. Nicely done. Now that's what I call nice trail maintenance. Excellent. Somebody made a really good job of that. I'm impressed. Also impressed with that view. I was going to walk right across the middle of there, but it is actually muddier than it looks. It looks like you could just walk straight across, and you probably could. I just don't want the muddy feet. Not when I've got a considerable distance to go. Amazing part of the world, eh? Can't see any dust on the mountains. You can usually tell when there's people coming down the mountain there, because you'll see all the dust on the rocks there. Right, I'm going to continue on my way that way and see what I can find. Well, I'm just coming down this side of the moraine, and this is normally also a large lake, which now isn't. It's also very slippery down here. A lot of round river rock. There's a pain in the rear end. It's like walking down marbles. Yes, this is normally also full of water. As you can see, it isn't. Which means that the mountains have a huge capacity for water storage this year, which is a good thing because that means less flooding down the river valleys. However, it's not so good when you see places that I've come up in before, so with all the snow melt and stuff. This should all be full of water, yeah, and it isn't. So that's not necessarily a good thing. But I have a sneaking suspicion once it starts raining that will soon fill up. This bit down through here is a little bit higgledy-piggledy. That is normally full of water, and then the steep hill is coming up in a minute, and there should be a good sized pond slash lake at the bottom of there too. But looking at what I've seen so far, I'm anticipating having no water in it, which is not good for the wildlife. I bet it's not good for the forest either. So, yeah. Because the areas like this, they store water, seeps into the ground. There's still water flowing off the mountains. I can still see loads of water falling off the mountains over there. So all the snow melt and what have you. But it'd be rather nice if these were full too. So I will continue down here, and there's a steep hill coming up, and at the bottom of the steep hill there should be another, like I say, lake slash pond, which also should be full of water, but we shall see. Oh, I see a reflection. Oh, I see blue. There we go, there we go. That's better. That's a relief, because if this one had been empty, that would have been bad. Yeah. Yes, this one is super full. Yeah. Little crocuses are coming out. These ones here, these are mountain crocuses. Very nice flower. Sometimes you get in some of these valleys and there's literally thousands and thousands of those. Really cool. Right. This bit is somewhat steep. As you can see, there's a decent amount of water in the bottom there. Oh, that's good. If this one had been empty, I'd have been quite worried, because this one I've never seen empty. Right, let me put this away just in case I fall over going down this hill. Now, earlier on in my videos, I said if you come up, there was a T-junction. If you went off to the right, you would have gone all the way down the valley, and you would have come back up this way. But as you can see, this one is still full of water. I've never seen this one not have water in it, which is good. This is the bottom of a valley lake. Those other ones up at the top there, they're kind of like little moraine lakes, and they're because it's all sandstone, it's all limestone under here. Sorry, they can drain out pretty quick. Right, I'm going to swap out my battery before the next leg of this walk around. I've got some forest stomping to do in a minute up that way. Right, one last look at the lake before I head back up the valley. Yes, the wind's getting up. There was no wind this morning at all. And the wind's getting up, getting the ripples. Listen to that, eh? Let's come down here. Oh, look at that. Nature's chair. Oh. It's always nice, convenient placed log. It's almost like they know where to fall over. Hey, I know what, I'll fall over right there, because that's going to make a really good chair for Dave to sit on. Yeah. Nature's magic in the trees, look at that. Tree roots. Amazing. Had a good sound, eh? Hit the water. That's an amazing sound. Love that. Just can't beat that. Really can't. You can see the fire lookout on top of the mountain over there. Right. I'm going to continue on my way back up the hill. He says hopefully without falling over. Oh, isn't that wind? Some big trees come down through here. I see they've cleared a different trail through here. Path used to go basically where this one is situated. Oh. That helicopter's pulling a heavy load. See what I mean? Every time I go anywhere there's helicopters. Yeah. He's pulling a heavy load. Mind you, the wind is up, so... Oh, I see him. Yeah. Extra points if anybody can tell me what type of helicopter that is. There's only one helicopter I know that makes that distinctive thud. Sounds like a Huey. Very reliable helicopters for up here. There's a lot of the mountain rescue stuff in it. Oh, there it is up there. Yeah, it's a Hughes. Yeah. Nice. Right, I'm going to head back up through the forest, and with the lack of water up through there, I might be able to take a shortcut. Yes, I think my shortcut might be curtailed. I was going to head up through there, but as you can see, I can still see water up through there. Still wet water up in there. Look, they're all beaver ponds. Very strong smell of fox down through there. So I'm going to go this way. I'd have to, because this piece of water over here, if I'd have gone straight on, I can go up around a corner and cut across. But if I go this way, I can go up here and then turn left, and then basically head back east. That'll be good. Just to give you a reference here: north, east, south. Hey, where's the sun? Look at that, it's in the south, imagine that. And west is that way. If you go that way through the mountains, it'll take you to British Columbia. Ain't walking there today. They got heavy snow up in there. There's still, I was listening on the radio on the way in here, some of the roads up there that people like to use, some of what I call the tourist roads, they got them all closed now at the moment still, because of the avalanche risk. Ooh, there's more water over in there. Yes, cutting this corner off can sometimes result in wet feet or having to walk up a bank. There's a bank on this side, so yes. Sometimes it's good to have a lot of rain when you're not having to walk through muddy areas. This bit in here can sit very, very wet. I've come through here before now and had trouble getting through this bit. See where the deer have had all the bark off the trees, off all the aspens. Good gust of wind, that lot will come down. All part of the natural process. See, like all that lot over there. Yeah. Deer have all the bark off it. And then they die, they fall over, they land on the ground, they rot away, and they make all the soil for the next bit of forest. See, my shortcut would have taken me through the back of that piece of forest over there, but I can actually see that's full of water, so that was a wise choice. Right, I'm going that way. I wish they were all that easy. Just cut 6 inches or 6 feet, sorry, off the end of that one. Dump the bit up in there. Let's get this branching up as well, I guess. Yeah. Dump the bit in there. Easy. Yeah. Don't get much easier than that one. Yeah. Somebody, thankfully, has been up in here with a good sized chainsaw. Looking at the tracks on the ground here, I'm thinking this is the way that guy and his dog came. There's a good possibility I might bump into him again, because I think I know where he might have parked. There's a woodpecker on the trees just in front of me. There he goes. Looking for bugs. Amazing how they do that. Oh no, he's gone. Obviously, nothing took his fancy on those trees. Well, it's funny how it never really takes long on my adventures out in the middle of nowhere for things to turn into a Dave trail. These are the trails I actually prefer. Yeah, just wander along and you find all kinds of good things. Like woodpeckers. I know if I keep going this way, I would eventually bump into where I parked. Just trying to find another good horse trail or cow trail through here. There's stuff to step over. A little bit of a trail there. I want to go that way. Horses and deer and that never go the way you want them to, do they? I have to be very careful, because up in the middle of here there is also a very swampy, wet area, and if I find myself up against that, I've got to go all the way around it, which is a bit of a pain. So maybe we'll keep going this way, follow this deer trail, and see where I end up. What a glorious day to wander through the woods though, eh? Don't get much better than this. How much blow down this way, all the way through here. All I've seen trees after trees. Yeah, loads of them. Right, let me put this away a bit until I've got further up through the valley here. I keep finding hundreds and hundreds of these crocuses now, which is nice. Yeah. heading back up towards where I parked now. The trail changes here a little bit. More crocuses. I've only seen a couple of deer. Normally up through here you see quite a few, but they tend to see you first. They either stand very still or they just vanish. Woof, gone. Now there is a fence here. The land the other side of this fence, I believe, has just been donated to this area as well. So there are some very nice trails up through there, but I know if I end up going up through there, I will end up at the back of a pretty wet patch. So I'm going to go this way, follow the fence along a bit, and then bear around to the right. Another example of how dry it is up here. This was the boggy area that I was trying to avoid. Right, and as you can see, there's just about no water in it. That area, that open area over there, I'm going to cut across the side of that in a minute. That's referred to as the golf course. Yeah. Yes. Be interesting to come back up in a couple of weeks. Actually, I might do that once we've had some rain. But see how quickly that fills back up. I need to cut off over that way. I'll get out here in the open and just peel off around to the right here somewhere. Yes. This area is referred to as the golf course, as you can see, big open green area. Now this is one of those areas when the flowers all come out, it actually comes out really, really nice. Right, however, I need to go that way. Oh, last year's horse poop. This is the remains of this fence. I wonder if they will take this fence out now, because it's mainly kept here for the grazing, because there were the cows and that up in there, see? So I'm wondering whether they will now actually just take that right out. If you go that way, that's where I'm parked, is that way. But if you go that way, there is another wet area just like that one between me and there, and that's not always a good thing. So I'm just going to cut across up around the side path and go that way, I think. Yeah. Save a bit of grief. What I will do is I will stop in the shade of this very nice tree, have a water break. They're nice. More crocuses everywhere. It's brilliant there. And Yamnuska mountain. Right, let me just have a drink. Now this is one of my favourite little spots to stop. Now I've been looking at all the big trees and that blown down through the forest here, and there's a lot of them blown down. Listen to that wind. And this is why, because that's the Rocky Mountains right there, and the wind comes out of the mountains heading this way, and as you can see that tree there, it's got a lean to it. So there's this big one here, and I have sat in the shade of this tree many times, just sitting there enjoying the view. But, I was wondering all the way around whether that tree would still be there, and hey presto, it is. Excellent. Very nice to see that one still standing. Yeah, it's funny, you know, you see these great big trees and people plant trees, but there's a saying about never sitting, you know, people plant them, wise men plant them, but they never get to sit in the shade of them. But I can tell you, if you plant them early enough, they do. So I've planted thousands and thousands of trees over the years, and I have sat in the shade of quite a few of them. Some of them grow really fast, actually. Yeah, we used to have these Lombardy poplars. They used to grow, I think it was 80 feet in 20 years. Absolutely incredible things. Make fantastic windbreaks. They're not a long-lived tree. They are huge, but they're not a long-lived tree. But we used to plant a lot on them, use them for windbreaks on fields and stuff like that. Yeah. Look at that. What a glorious day. I was toying with the idea of bringing my good camera today and just doing a photography day, and I guarantee you there's that mountain range in front of us with the snow on it. The other side of there, that's the Spray Valley, and that today I should think would be very nice. There's a big pointy mountain I can see over there in the distance. I can't remember the name of it. It always looks like Shark Mountain, but Shark Mountain's further down. Yeah. Just me and the wind in the trees. I saw the guy's tracks that was walking the dog that I bumped into earlier. He'd parked down what I call rockstar parking. There's a place halfway down here, save you walking all the way around, where you can park about 3 or 4 cars, and that's about it. And I saw his car parked there when I came up. I could see his tracks going that way, so I thought, oh, okay. He beat me around in the loop. Yeah. But this tree, I have sat under this tree numerous times. Thank you, Mr. Tree, for the shade. Yeah. And people are all rushing off out in life and doing this, that and everything else. More people should do this. Just sit and look at that. Make shapes in the clouds. I remember we used to do it when we was kids. We'd make shapes. I can see a face up there. There's a big smiley face up there. Smiley face with 2 big ears. Yeah. We always used to make shapes out of the clouds. People forget how to do all that stuff, you know. They're too busy rushing around in life and doing all the things that adults do and all this. They never make time for everything else. Because it doesn't matter what you have in life, doesn't matter how many possessions, how much money you have and all the rest of it. The amount of time you have in life, you cannot change. You cannot change that. So enjoy the time you have, do what you can, and stop worrying about all the other garbage. I see people, oh yeah, I gotta buy a bigger house and a nicer car and all that. Why? You don't need it. Yeah. As long as you've got a roof over your head and you're warm and you've got something with wheels on it, they'll get you from A to B, don't worry about it. Yeah. Yeah. Just look after it. Oil is cheap, metal isn't. And all that extra money that you've got, that you've now saved, because you're not buying ridiculously big houses that banks want to lend you ridiculous amounts of money for. Yeah, the only people that actually profit out of that are the banks. People don't realise that mortgages are designed for banks, they're not designed for people. Yeah. So have an easy life, you know, don't have a complicated life. Life doesn't need to be complicated. It's complicated enough as it is. Don't make it more complicated than it needs to be. But make time to come out to places like this and just sit. Look at those mountains, millions and millions of years old. I quite often come out to places like that and I try to picture what it would look like covered in ice, because in the last ice age this valley was about 1 kilometre deep in ice, so I'd have been well under ice here. This bank I'm sitting on, this moraine, is just the debris that was left over from that. So, right, I'm going to continue on my way. I took a slightly different route back because I was trying to avoid the sun, because it's actually quite warm today and I still have my coat on. So, right, off I go. I was going to go back over what I call the gate route, and I just spotted this little one on the trail here, so I will cut this up and get this off of this. Alright, job done. This wasn't the route I anticipated taking, but this was almost on my turn off. So let's cut the end off that one. Dump the other bit down there. It's out the way now. People started making a path up around the side of the bank there already. These banks, the soil's very very marginal as it is. So I tried to keep the trails where they're supposed to be. Now, this is where I was actually heading. Up this one. This just cuts a big corner off. Instead of walking all the way up there and then turning right, this just cuts it off like a triangle. A little bit steeper to start with. I cleared out the whole of this one the other year. There was about 20 odd trees up through here. Hadn't been done for a long time. However, I see a lot of the young trees starting to sprout up through here now. That's a good sign. All these nice little trees. Perfect. I try to avoid stepping on those. That's the next generation of forest right there. the other reason I came back this way. It's a lot more shade this way, see? Yeah, I did not really need my coat today. However, like I say, I like to have it with me. One last look at the mountains, because once I got round this corner, I'll be back into the forest where I was clearing those trees out this morning. But, yeah, very nice. I can smell the forest is hot. A hot forest has a particular smell to it. It's like pine and something or other, who knows. It just has a very distinctive smell. Been in many forests around the world, but this is different. Yeah, has a different smell to it. A lot more bugs about as well now. Once the sun comes out, so do all the bugs, unfortunately. Ah, looks like there is another one down over here. Huh. It was me thinking this would just be a nice little walk back up through here. Well, that's a bugger, isn't it? How many we got? 1, 2. There's 3 or 4 in there. I suppose I'm here, I should get them out of the way. Right, let me do those. Done and dusted. Yeah, cut that one out. There was a couple in here. Ironically, it's always the same. Right, so I cut this one out. Just cut the bits over there. Covered up the path that somebody had made. The log that's under there is one that I cut out of here about 3-4 years ago. So I could see some more down in here. There's a big one, but there's a perfectly good bypass trail around it at the moment, which is now well established, and I ain't shifting that lot just for a little trail that's hardly ever used. So we will leave that where it is. Yeah. Yes, always away, eh? Look at that, right across the trail. But the amount of time it would take me to clear those out, just not worth it. So, yeah. Right, now once I get down the bottom of this hill, I should be able to put my saw away, because I've cleared all of this back to where we started. So, let me just get on with that. Yeah, looks all good down the bottom of there. Once I get down here, I can put my stuff away and then just enjoy the walk back. Because down through this bit of forest here, this is where I came down this morning. I came down that way. Right, so I'm going to head back that way and should be just be able to enjoy the walk. Right, let's walk back up through the forest. Oh, look at that. Some kind person cut the tree up. Nice. It's always nice when you walk back the same way, because you know that all the big stuff is out. It's done. That path is all covered over pretty good. You'd have to be fairly determined to take that route out. Right. It has certainly warmed up. That day has turned into an absolutely stunning day. Cannot odds that. I was umming and ahhing this morning as the weather to come out. But sometimes you just have to listen to your inside voice. Get out and enjoy it. Enjoy the days in the forest. Wandering around. Clearing up trees makes it easier. The guy I met earlier, he writes books and what have you for hiking and climbing, and he was most appreciative of having all the trails cleared. Yeah, but it's nice when you bump into people like that, because they've got so much local knowledge. When he was younger, he used to belong to all the climbing groups and that around here, and he lived up in Jasper for years and years and years. He's now moved down this way, but it's nice to have him down in their neck of the woods, that's for sure. Yeah. Right. Doesn't get much better than this, does it? Look at it. That's nice. People do forget to unplug, leave your phone at home, leave your watch at home, more importantly, so you're not forever looking at the blooming thing, and get out into places like this and just enjoy it. You know, we live in an amazing part of the world, and yet I know people that never come out to the mountains. I have no idea why there's people come here and they spend a lot of money to come here to go skiing and visit Banff and Canmore and all that kind of stuff, Jasper and that. But we live here, you know. Very lucky, really. Very lucky indeed. Yeah. People say to me quite often, you know, you're not worried about bears and that in the forest and all that. Not really, no. Because any self-respecting bear will know I'm here long before I even have a clue that they're there. Yeah, if I happen to just be lucky and spot them. I've come close to a few bears over the years. Yeah, closest I've got to a bear was about 50 feet, and it's a grizzly bear, and he just took off straight up a hill. Whoop, gone, vanished. Took him probably 20 seconds to get up that hill. It would have probably taken me 20 minutes. So not going to worry too much about that. Right, I will stop rabbiting and put this away for a little while and do a bit more.